Hi there, guys. So everyone will have seen the news from the US yesterday of the right-wing political commentator Charlie Kirk being shot dead or assassinated. And I wanted to talk a little bit today about the various responses of people from across the political spectrum to this killing. It's really fascinating and sort of instructive of the world that we live in, particularly when the killer hasn't been identified and when we don't know of any motive for the killing as yet. So I've picked out a few responses from, well-known people in the UK and also in the US. And I try and categorise them as best I can. So the first category is that we've got the left-wing violence is out of control response. And this is from a right-wing journalist in the UK. And again, I have to reiterate that we don't have any knowledge of whether what he's saying is true here, because we don't know the identity of the killer as yet. Then we've got your classic liberal sort of, this is quite bad and we should stop all the shooting outlook. And now we've got some sort of leftist, well, he caused it because he said X, Y, and Z outlook. And now we've got your whataboutism. So we've got, Charlie Kirk is dead, but what about Palestinian kids? What about George Floyd? What about X, Y, or Z? And then we've got the most ridiculous category of them all for me. We've got the what about me category, as if people care what some old tax dodging farmer who lives in Chipping Norton thinks. But I just picked out these examples and these sort of different categories because it's quite fascinating to me. Because it seemed to me that, if you asked, for example, Chat GPT for a liberal, a right wing, or maybe a left wing response to the assassination of a right wing figure, this is exactly what you'd get, isn't it? People are so entrenched in their views in this world that we live in, and they're so far down their respective rabbit holes that you might as well just ask AI to, craft a response to whatever's happening in the world on any given day. And I go back to what I said at the start, we have to remind ourselves that in this instance, we don't even know the motive of the killer yet. They haven't been caught yet. So what the hell is everyone talking about? And you notice all of these screenshots that I've put up there, they're all from X. I'll show you now, lastly, the response from the owner of that platform, the shitposter-in-chief himself. I mean, just look at the state of it. My opinion is that we, ordinary people, we're just being played like a fiddle, aren't we? And while we're all in our little algorithm-fed bubbles, these rich muppets are just making out like bandits, aren't they? So yeah, the responses to this from across the political spectrum is just absolutely dismal in my opinion. But anyway, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, guys. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.